I'm Krishna Prasad and you're welcome back to my channel Krishna's Teen Cookbook. So on this channel we upload recipes twice a week and we upload really good content. Whenever we upload any recipe, we tell the scientific process of the recipe, how each ingredient blends up together and magically makes a new and wonderful lip-smacking recipe. So, if you're interested, please subscribe so you get notified whenever I upload new videos. Not only that, we sometimes tell the origins of the recipe, and if any ingredient is difficult to get or not available easily, we also tell the alternatives to make that. So, if you want to get all of this exciting and new content, please subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends and family. So, today we are going to make vegetable pizza. So pizza is basically an Italian dish and it has originated thousands of years ago. And there they make it using fresh basil, fresh toppings and fresh mozzarella cheese, that too in a wooden oven. So it's not possible here to replicate the entire step, but we are trying our maximum to make it the way they make it. So we are going to be simplifying it and we are going to be making it in such a way that even vegetarians can eat it, and that too we can make it without an oven. So let's get started with the recipe. Here are the ingredients: 500 grams of flour, then you'll need 3 tablespoons of sugar and salt as per your taste, and the final ingredient is active dry yeast. You can also use instant yeast. Now in a bowl I've taken 100 ml of water. To that I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of sugar, and after that I am going to be adding the yeast also. I'm using about half teaspoon of yeast. If you want to proof this dough earlier, you can use 1 teaspoon or even 2 teaspoon. I'm going to ferment this dough overnight, so that's why I'm using only half teaspoon. Now after some time you can see that the yeast is bloomed and it has produced lactic acid and ethanol. So the yeast has risen up. If your yeast doesn't rise up, don't use that yeast. It's bad for some reason or it might be expired. Now in a big platter I've taken flour. I've added salt to the sides of the flour. Don't add it in the center. In the center we are going to be adding the yeast. Why we are doing this is because salt kills the yeast, so we should not add that on the same side. Now let's knead the dough. Let's coat the flour with the yeast mixture. After that we are going to add oil for moisture, and you can add oil and water whenever you feel that the dough is dry. I'm adding little water at a time because if you add it all together it might become a paste. So let's continue kneading it. We have to knead this for 15 minutes. Now as you can see, my dough has come all together. We have to knead this only a little bit more. See, your dough has to come all together and it must be in the shape of a ball. Until that you have to knead this dough, and you are doing this so because the gluten will nicely develop and you will get air pockets in your dough. This helps us to get a nice pizza. Now take a white tea cloth and cover this dough. I'm covering this dough in the platter itself for now, but later I'll transfer it to a container because we want to keep this in a warm place and we don't want any air to get into the yeast. For faster proofing, we have to make sure that no air gets into the yeast. Yeast is a living thing, so you have to treat this dough as if it's a living thing. Now after about 8 hours, it's about 10 hours, yeah, the dough has risen up really well and you can see some air pockets have developed. Now the gluten has nicely developed and also the yeast has respired and bloomed up a lot. The dough is fermented, it's filled with lactic acid, a little bit of ethanol. So yes, the dough is really nicely done. We will get a nice chewy pizza. That's all what we want. Now I'm transfer the dough into the platter. I'm going to knead this a little bit more because we want to even up all the air bubbles. And while kneading it, now I'm using semolina flour so that the dough doesn't stick to the plate. So let's knead it a little bit more. We don't need to knead it much, just to even out all the air bubbles. So keep folding and stretching, and we will once again after kneading it, we'll allow it to proof for half an hour more. So it's important to do this step as it evens out all the air bubbles. So we have to be very careful with this dough because yeast is a living organism, so it needs certain conditions to proof up. Unlike carbonate of soda, soda is basically just a salt, so it just needs some acid to rise up, but yeast requires some temperature, some amount of care, and it needs to be left undisturbed in a dry and a little bit of it needs a little bit of moisture and a little bit of warmth. Only then will your yeast prove up, so you have to be very careful with it. Alright, now we'll make the pizza sauce. For that I'm taking 4 tomatoes, a little bit of oregano, basil, 1 onion, a small garlic, and a few red chilies. Now in a kadai I have added some water and I've kept the tomatoes for boiling. We don't need to boil any other ingredients, only the tomatoes. Now add a little bit of salt so that it cooks faster. We want to boil the tomatoes until you see the skin coming off the tomatoes, and at that point you have to turn off the stove. So let it boil until then. Tomatoes doesn't take that much time to boil, so usually just a couple of minutes. Now take a kadai, add 3 tablespoons of oil, 3 to 4 tablespoons. You can use olive oil, that's the best for the recipe, but I'm using vegetable oil today as it's lockdown. So let this oil heat up nicely, and after that we are going to add ginger, garlic, tomatoes and everything. So the oil has nicely heated up. I'm going to add my crushed garlic. I've also added onions to this. Excuse me for that, the clip accidentally got deleted. So we want to brown the onions and garlic. Also added the tomatoes. Now I'm going to add the red chili flakes. These are made of the chilies I showed you earlier. You have to add a generous amount, or you can add according to your spice tolerance. Generally I prefer this to be a little bit spicy. I'm going to add the chili flakes more to this. Now I'm going to add all of the herbs, oregano, basil. These things, they give a nice aroma to the pizza, and you feel that you're in a pizza place like Domino's or Pizza Hut. So this herbs, if you don't have this, still you can make, but it's best that you add all of these herbs. At least add one of them. I'm going to add both basil and oregano. So we have to nicely cook this, and we have to cook this until everything is smashed up and we get a nice smooth consistency. After it has become into a smooth consistency, I'm going to blend this mixture, and I'm going to add a teaspoon of chili powder to this before blending the mixture. Accidentally that clip too got deleted while editing, so I'm really sorry for that, but you have to blend this mixture. Now after half an hour, the dough has rested quite a bit. I'm going to cut this dough into 3 parts. While I'm cutting, you can see how much air pockets has formed. There had been happening a lot of activity of the yeast, and I've divided into 3 parts. This will make about 3 medium pizzas. Actually 2 medium pizzas and 1 small pizza. But if you're using only 2 parts, when you're cutting this dough into 2 parts, you'll get 2 large pizzas or 2 large medium pizzas. If you're using the entire dough to make 1 pizza, it will make about 1 party size pizzas. So if you're inviting a lot of friends and all, you can use the entire dough to make one pizza and cut it into many slices once the pizza is ready. So now in a back of a plate I've added semolina flour. It's known as rava in India. And now I'm going to take one portion of the dough and I'm going to stretch it out with my hands to make the pizza crust. I'm not using a rolling pin as that deflates a lot of air. I'm going to stretch this out nicely with my hands to make the pizza crust. I like my crust to be medium thick, not too thick because that doesn't have any flavor, not too thin because that feels like we are eating only the toppings. So I just prefer it medium. So I'm going to stretch this out with my hands. You can do it with your knuckles or with a rolling pin, that's fine. I find this to be the most comfortable one for rolling a pizza. We have to nicely stretch it out. And as you can see, small air pockets are formed when I'm stretching it. So that will puff up the pizza quite a bit. Now after you have done that, take a fork and poke in a lot of holes into the pizza. What this does, it doesn't allow the pizza to bulge up really well. It maintains balance in the thickness of the crust. So if too much air is deflated, the pizza won't be good. So we have to do this step. It's quite important. Now in a cast iron skillet, I'm going to brown up the pizzas. We don't want to give it too much of color, just to cook it evenly on both the sides. You don't need to brown this and all. So after you have done that, I've added all of the toppings. I've added some mozzarella, a little bit of onions and bell peppers and chili flakes and all of our herbs. You can add any toppings of your choice. I've not mentioned what you should add and what you shouldn't because it's your choice and everyone likes different toppings. You can add chicken, pepperoni, sausages or any type of cheese you wish. You can even add paneer or anything. I've added some cubes of mozzarella and some grated mozzarella, so it will give us a nice cheesy pizza. I've kept the toppings minimal, only onions and bell peppers. Because if you have too much of toppings, what happens is the pizza will not come out of the pan. Now I'm making this without oven in a cast iron skillet, and I've also added a generous amount of pizza sauce to this. Don't add too much of pizza sauce, and if you are not a spice lover, you can skip the pizza sauce entirely, no problem in that. Now in a cast iron, I'm cooking the pizzas. Now as you can see, the pizzas are nicely cooked and the cheese is melted in really well. Oh my god, the pizza looks so beautiful. I'm going to cut it with a pizza cutter and serve it. It's super delicious. Do try it out, guys. You don't even need an oven.